Detached chain stitch is often referred to as lazy daisy because it's perfect for making little flower petals. Here are some examples of detached chain stitch. So let's look at how this stitch works. You start by bringing your needle and thread up. Now I am right-handed, so I am stitching, of course, with my right hand, and I'm going to hold my thread down with my left hand. So after bringing your needle and thread up, you form a loop in either direction. I like to form my loop going clockwise, but you can go either way. Then bring your needle back down at that same point where you just came up. Now decide how long you want your stitch to be, and then bring your needle back up at that point, but don't pull through yet. First, you need to loop your thread under the needle, then pull through. And to finish the stitch, just tack it down right outside your loop. Now notice that I have not pulled the stitch tight, because if you do that, you're going to lose the shape of the stitch. So let's do another version of this stitch. So I'll bring my needle and thread up, go back down at that same point, decide how long you want your stitch to be, make sure that your thread is looped behind the needle, and then pull through. Now this time, instead of tacking it down just outside the loop, I'm going to make a long tie down stitch. So now I have a long-armed detached chain stitch. You can also work these stitches toward yourself. These first two stitches I was working away from myself, but now I'll work the stitch toward myself. So I'll come up, bring the needle back down at that same point, then back up, loop the thread behind the needle, and pull through, then finish the stitch by tacking it down just outside that loop. You can get different effects with detached chain stitch. Here I have made a classic daisy shape. I made a French knot to form the center, and then I fanned out lazy daisy stitches around the center. So each of these stitches begins in the center and is then tied down at the outside. For this motif, I did just the opposite. I began each stitch on the outside and then made long tie down stitches that meet in the center. So you can be creative with lazy daisy stitch.